Rob?
Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues in the Batman universe, and today we're taking a look at the DC Collectibles Batman Li'l Gotham line, the Robin Damian Wayne figure. Again, what a cute little series that DC Collectibles is doing, and I'm really glad that DC Collectibles is really opening up their line of action figures and doing stylized takes on other DC Comics properties, be it the Batman animated series figures, which I have one right over here, and of course Li'l Gotham. Then you have the proper, DC Collectibles New 52 line. Then you have the animated series. You have the Greg Capullo line. You have just so many different lines that DC Collectibles is really starting to do, that I think it's making it a rich collectible market to be in. As far as rich meaning just the overabundance of different type of things that you can get. And then poor rich being it's going to make a lot of these people back here broke trying to collect a lot of this stuff. So this will be the last figure I'm picking up in the line, unless they come out with a Red Robin or a Nightwing or something like that. Primarily probably just the Red Robin Tim Drake from Li'l Gotham. But what a cute little figure. And when I say little, sometimes, when you're watching a review, it's why a lot of times I'll do a scale size so you could see how big of a figure or how tiny of a figure that it is. Just to kind of show you here. Here's my cell phone, the iPhone 6, compared to Damian. So he is very, very tiny. But what a cute little figure. Based on Dustin Nguyen's drawings in the Li'l Gotham series that I think went 20 some odd. It's either 20 or 12 issues. I can't quite remember. I'm sure as I'm editing this, I'll find out and go, oh gosh, it was only 12. It may have only gone 12 issues. But what a cute little series. And again, I think when I was talking about the Li'l Gotham Batman, that this is a cute little series. If you want to maybe get kids into something, DC Comics related, this is a good series to kind of start them out with. There is Dustin Nguyen's drawing of Damian as he would appear in the comic book series. You can see he comes with two baseball bats instead of his katanas or maybe a bow staff or something like that. Something that's a little bit more kid friendly in the comics. Like you getting beat over the head with a baseball bat. They decided to do two baseball bats for Damian, which I kind of thought was really kind of cute. The second figure in the line, as you can see, it says Robin right there. And then the other figures in the wave, of course, is Batman, Damian, the Joker with the hyena, and then Harley Quinn with the hyena that is sleeping, her mallet, and then a little tiny Joker doll there that she has. Really cute. I don't know if they're going to do any more than this. I saw all four of them at the comic book shop I went to, Alter Ego Comics in Lima, Ohio. I'll put a link down below at their Facebook page and their website if you would like to, maybe pick one up and kind of support a shop that I go to from time to time. So yeah, unless they come out with another wave of these, that maybe we'll get some of the other Li'l Gotham type characters in here. Probably be done. That was a hard sentence to say. With this line, as I only really wanted Robin, and I thought, well, if I'm getting Robin, I probably should have a Batman to go with it, and I'm glad. I think the two will look very, very cool together. So we've already seen what the back of the card is. The card art is the Dustin Nguyen art. I'm having a hard time talking today. So I won't go back into all the card art that we saw the last time. So if you want to see what it looks like, go back just a video or two and you can see what the Batman card art looks. It's exactly the same. So we won't waste any more time. We will get this little guy out of package and we will get a closer look at Damian Robin from Li'l Gotham DC Collectibles figure. We'll be right back. I can't help but chuckle. Cute. I don't know how many times you could say cute and adorable. Probably not cuddly, but I guess you could. But what a neat design for these figures. Kind of seeing them, the way they really did this comic book series was do some kind of like loose pencils with some light watercolor wash over the top of it. And when I heard they were going to do an action figure line on this, I wasn't sure like how this was going to translate because, you know, it wasn't the solid colors that this is, but these turned out really, really cool. So if you were a fan of this comic book series, I definitely recommend, you know, picking up one or two, or maybe all of them if you really liked it. But Damian, I think, just really, really came out very well, and I'm really glad on how he is made, and just a cute little figure. Some cool things about this little guy here. Make sure I'm getting in the light here. The first thing right away is if you look at his eyes, they're silver, and Batman's were white, but there is a sparkle to the figure, or to the figure's eyes. Isn't that really kind of cool? Makes the eyes really stand out, and he's got that little smirk there, the you know, look. This figure is executed very, very good. It's got his, you know, the oversized ears. Everything's oversized or undersized in this comic book series, so maybe a little Dumbo-ish there in the ears, but that's how he was drawn in the series. Just the sculpting in his hair is done really well. I think there's a little bit of white right here, just a little foam or something like that. Might have been from my table, but you kind of see the back of his hood is down in the back. Nice yellow cape, and not a lot of overspray, or I see a couple little black flakes here. I'm actually thinking that this whole cape is black and it's painted yellow here, as the back of it, or the inside of the cape, is black. So I kind of think that's what it was. So it might be just a little bleed through, or some of it scratched off. You can see his gauntlets right there. His tiny little wrists. I mean, you can see how big my thumb is. It's just covering up almost this whole figure. I like the R. I wish the R, it was this way in the comics. The R was sometimes really kind of hard to see, so I wish it was a little bit more pronounced. Maybe having done the normal yellow R with the black circle around it, but they chose to do it in reverse, but that's fine. Or at least maybe if they would have colored the whole oval in yellow and had that black, I think it would have stuck out a little bit. But again, it is accurate to the series, so I like it for that. I like the detail on his belt, which is really nice. I believe, like Batman's, it's not completed in the back. Oh, Damian's is completed in the back. So that's kind of cool. Batman's stopped about partway through. But I think just due to the way that Damian's cape is kind of sticking out a little bit in spots, you can see more of the back of it. So that's probably why they decided to articulate it all the way around. But again, cute little figure. There's his boots. So the articulation on these is going to be kind of minimal, but at the same time, it's going to do, you know, a little bit more. So his head turns at the neck. There's no head articulation at the top. It's all at the neck. No forward and back. I mean, it does move a little bit, but I think that's just due to the peg that's in there, so it's not supposed to be articulated. But just a left and right. Let me back the camera out just a little bit here. The arms, and this kind of reminds me of the DC Universe Classics female arms, where they kind of feel brittle and frail. I mean, they move really nice. They're not stiff, which is really good, but if you're not careful with it, I could see this potentially being a problem. But the arms are on a nice ball socket. They do go all the way around a little bit. It's a soft, pliable cape, but right up here at the top, it's really kind of stiff and rigid, at least for his right arm. It's kind of getting pinched a little bit, but you know, you can move it decently. It does turn at the wrist. Come on, Rob, know your body parts. There's no forearm glove or gauntlet rotation. And the same with this arm. Can get a little bit more motion out of the arm. No turn at the waist at all. Legs do go forward and back a little bit. Actually, you can go up decently. So if there was a Li'l Gotham Batmobile, that would be cool to put Batman and Robin in. But the way Batman is built, he won't sit as well as Damian does. And that's it. No feet or boot articulation. So very minimal articulation, enough to be able to semi-pose the figures, but these are just really cute conversation pieces. Again, these would be two figures if you know, you work in an office or something like that and don't want your 6-inch collectible figures there. Having these two guys guard your computer would be kind of cool. Damian does come. Gotta quit calling him Damian Robin, because we, hopefully going into the 75th anniversary of Robin, we're just going to know him as Robin. But anyway, he comes with 3 accessories. Comes with 2 baseball bats, which at first I thought I broke it. I thought, great, I just broke. Let's get Damian out of the way. It's kind of focusing on there. I thought I broke the baseball bat, and then I realized, well, how am I going to get this bat in his hand when I saw it was like this? You could pull these 2 pieces apart, as the camera's trying to focus on the back. So it just pegs into itself. The pegs are a little loose. They're not as tight as I think they probably could have been. But this way you don't have to force his tiny little hands open to get around the bat. You can kind of do one end and in the other end and kind of slide it down without having to have the end of the peg of the bat fight into the hands. And that sentence probably doesn't make any sense, but you'll see in a moment. So there's 2 of them, 1 for each hand. And then the third one is a nice clear base. Now, because of his big head, and Ellen says that Damian's head kind of reminds her of Stuart on The Big Bang Theory, the comic book store owner guy. A little bit. Big forehead. But you kind of saw there that he is a little back and top heavy. So Damian does have 2 pegs. Here at the bottom are holes for pegs. So you can put him on a base so he doesn't go flopping around off a shelf. So I think that's cool that he does come with a base, which you cannot see very well, but there's his base. So his bats, you would unpeg the one side and kind of force it. You can see how the hands are. I mean, you can open them up a little bit, but I'm more pulling on the joint that's back here. So it's just easier to push the end of this bat in just a little bit, and then you put the other end in here like so. If I do it on screen, Rob, way to go. Maybe. It's easier said than done. There we go. So there's one end in. Let's back the camera out just a little bit more. That big dumb stupid hands out of the way. Talked amongst yourself there. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island. Discuss. That one is going to be a little awkward to get in. His hand's not open as wide. So there we go. Push that end through. I don't know if you saw that. Let's turn a little extra light on here from the camera. So you can kind of see that end coming through. I just pushed it up through the bottom. A little bit higher there. Kind of work it up from the bottom. And now I should be able to peg that in. There we go. There's Damian with his 2 bats. Very cool. So what we'll do, we'll bring Batman up here and see what the 2 look like together. I'll kind of show you some comparisons in size. One thing to denote, this is only the 2nd Damian Robin figure ever made. There has been some little miniature, like little Zerbaws figures that are really teeny tiny, but as far as action figure goes, and I'm not counting the Hero Clicks and some of those little tinier keychains and things like that, but as far as an action figure go, this is only the 2nd Damian Robin figure in 8 years made. And I do have the only other one up until recently, and that will be the DC Collectibles Batman Incorporated Damian figure, a highly sought after figure. I'll raise this up here so we get him in frame. So at least in the 6-inch scale or the 7-inch scale that these figures are in, granted, you know, Batman is taller than Damian. So if I had the 6-inch or 7-inch Batman DC Collectibles, he would tower over this particular Damian. And then the first Damian figure ever made is the Batman and Son Damian figure that came with the Tim Drake Robin as a 2-pack. So this kind of shows you the size that the Li'l Gotham figures are in, and for an extra good measure, here's the Batman animated series Kenner Hasbro 1998 action figure, which is still taller than that Li'l Gotham figure, so that should show you the size that you're kind of dealing with here. And of course, obviously, these figures are small on their own as well, so I wanted to show you that real quick. I'm still laughing at these two. I really like these two. Part of me goes, man, it'd be kind of cool to have the Joker and Harley Quinn, but I don't think I'm going to. These two are going to be perfect for my collection. Of course, when Batman came out, I thought, well, obviously, everybody knows I'm a Robin fan, so I definitely was going to get Robin, but once I saw Batman in the store, or actually at the comic convention, I thought, okay, Batman's going to have to go with Damian. So DC Collectibles made a cute little line of action figures that I think is really cool, something a little bit different than maybe what you're normally collecting, but seeing these two in person and having them in hand just really completes my love for that comic book series, and DC just did a really good job of producing these two figures, and it's as if they just jumped right out of the page. So big thumbs up that are bigger than Damian's whole entire body for this line. So today we've been taking a look at Robin from Batman Li'l Gotham DC Collectibles action figure line based on the designs by Dustin Nguyen. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe signing off saying we will see you guys next time.